Welcome once again to Breakfast Central. The Zambian government has now lifted restrictions on public gatherings, physical distancing and wearing of masks countrywide. Zambia's Minister of Health, Sylvia Masebo, says the new development has been necessitated by districts that have reached the 70% vaccination of their population. This morning we are joined by Dr. Lalusha Fortune, who's Mulubezi District Health Director in Zambia. Good morning, Doctor. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
All right. The government, of course, has lifted restrictions on public gatherings, physical distancing, and wearing of masks. What's your response to this with regards to your district?
I think this is a great reflection on what the country has achieved so far in the fight against COVID-19. And as a district, we are greatly excited because this gives back a lot of great efforts, commitment to the community, because a lot of people were affected by the restrictions, of course. Their livelihood, their incomes were affected, and the lifting of these restrictions gives them a chance to get back to normal life. Of course, not forgetting that deep down, the community has been the lead in the fight against COVID by following the laws that were put down by the ministry. And this lifting of restrictions just gives them a commitment of the efforts that they've put in. And it is a great move for us as a district, as Mulubezi district. We're greatly excited, and this is a very welcome move.
Dr. Lalusha, Zambia is just catching up with the world right now, because what it seems right now is that many parts of the continent and the world may have in some way moved further than where Zambia is right now. A lot of countries have lifted the restrictions surrounding COVID-19. Why would you say it's taken this long for Zambia to do the same?
I think this was in an effort to try and get as much as we can for the country to get fully vaccinated. We were trying to get to a good percentage to have good herd immunity. And I think it took us this time so that we can achieve what the other countries have achieved in terms of vaccination and in terms of reduction in the number of cases that we are noticing in the communities.
Okay, well, talk a little bit more about vaccination, and how successful Zambia has been with regards to vaccination. Other African countries, had some vaccine hesitancy for a bit. How was Zambia able to pull that off? What currently is the percentage of vaccination in Zambia?
As it stands for the country, we stand about 54% fully vaccinated. Like for Mulubezi district, we are at 68%, and we are hoping by the end of this week we'll clear the 70% mark, so that we are also above the 70% line that we have crossed. We aim to cross, so that we have that herd immunity coverage.
With these restrictions being lifted, are there concerns that there might be a resurgence of COVID-19 in parts of Zambia?
I think with the information that we have with the past months, we've had consistently lower than 5% positivity rate as a country. Of course, we might have some isolated cases here and there, but we do not. I don't think we will have a resurgence in the coming months. Maybe 1 or 2 cases here and there, but the data that is on the ground shows that we have been consistently below 5% positivity rate as a country.
And it will also be nice to have a proper explanation of how much these restrictions have been lifted. What we've seen in some other countries is they were lifted in bits. They would say that maybe you allowed a certain number of people to gather. Would you say that this restriction is a complete restriction, or are there portions? Are there any areas where there are still some guidelines that one must follow as regards COVID-19 prevention?
Yes, of course, the guidance still stands. If we still practice the golden rules of COVID-19 prevention, we do our hand washing, our masking. Even if the government has said we stop the masking, the wearing of masks, if the people still feel the need to wear the masks, they are free to wear those masks. If we continue having our hand washing practices, we will still have that preventive measure still impacted in us. And I think it will go a long way for the entire country.
Well, I'm not sure if you can also quickly share a little bit about, well, the world is now talking about monkeypox. As we've, well, Zambia, of course, is taking steps away from COVID-19. Is there any concerns with, monkeypox? Will the, health ministry in Zambia also be, taking steps, in that regard?
Yes, we've also heightened our surveillance towards the monkeypox. Of course, like for our district, we haven't recorded any case, but we have taken those steps in ensuring that any suspected cases are reported and are followed up, and they are screened so that we can determine if that's the case or not. So we have also taken up those measures to try and improve on our surveillance towards the monkeypox as well.
All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. Of course, we hope that Zambia completely rids itself of COVID-19 and any other, virus that we might be discussing. And thanks for the work that you've done so far. Thanks for joining us.